Today, I wanted to do a story time about the time Tyler, the creator, came up to me and told me he recognized me. If there's an argument for the law of attraction, it's that moment. Like, if you knew me in high school, I was obsessed with him. Like, literally obsessed with Tyler. Listened to him morning, day, and night. He was my lock screen. As soon as I found out I was moving to LA for school, I was like, oh my god, I hope I see Tyler. What am I gonna say if I meet Tyler? Went to all the Camp Flognaw carnivals, still do. Just, I was a big fan. So if there's an argument for the law of attraction, it's this. Because what you think about, you bring about, apparently. My freshman year of college, some of my friends went to Melrose and they saw him and I wasn't there. And like, it really broke my heart. Like, I almost cried. So yeah, that's how much I loved him. So fast forward a couple of years, I have been to Camp Flognaw, which is Tyler's like music festival carnival thing. I've been to it 3 times, so I've seen him like in person now. So like, once you see someone in person, your like obsession with them kind of dies down a little bit. He's still one of my like favorite artists, but I wouldn't say I'm like as ride or die obsessed with him as I used to be. But maybe that's why this happened, because like, it's like you have to act as if you already have it. So like, if I'm like chilling, like not really hoping to see him, that's why I met him. I don't know. So this was like so soon after Camp Flognaw this year. So I'd really just seen him and I was like really close for his performance. So I was like, you know, satisfied with my like seeing of him for the year. And so I was on Fairfax and he has his store called Golf, you know, and I'd never been there before, so I wanted to go. So like, we went and like, we're waiting in line. It's so funny because the store looks like almost empty. Like, there's not empty, but there's not very many people in it, like as a store goes, but they like only allow like a certain amount of people in there, like very few people. And so there's like a big line outside. And so we're waiting and there's like a glass door that slides open every once in a while and there's a guy who comes out and says the rules, and it's like just super funny and like extra, but whatever. It's finally like our turn to go in. The guy like slides open the door and he's all like, you can't do anything but walk around and look at the things, basically. He was like, no phones, no photography. If you want something, ask somebody to get it for you. Like, don't take anything off of the rack or the shelf. No pictures of the clothing, no pictures of the store, like blah, blah, blah. So it's very strict. And so I was like, okay, like fine. And then so we go in. And I'm just walking around, like, looking at stuff. Like, this is my first time in the store and it's like a really cool store. Like, it's just very visually pleasing. Literally, I was just walking around minding my business and then all of a sudden Tyler walks out of the back, like the like back area, and I was like, oh my god, like wow. But also I was like less starstruck because like I didn't know he was gonna be there, but I knew that he was there a lot because like a lot of my friends who had gone before had said they had seen him, like, because it's his store, so he just hangs out there a lot, I guess. So I wasn't like shocked, but I was like, oh cool. But I was like still minding my own business, but also like sneaking a look every once in a while. All of a sudden I hear like some mom talking to him and I look over and it's like some mom and her daughter, and the mom is like, oh my god, my daughter just left. Like, keep in mind this daughter is like old enough to speak for herself. Like, she's like 16? Like, I don't know. But the mom is like, oh my god, my daughter just loves you. She's obsessed with you. Could she please get a picture with you? Like, oh my god, you are making her day right now. You have no idea how much she loves you. And Tyler was like, nah, I don't do pictures. Like, this is my safe space. And I was like, oh, this is awkward. So and everybody, because the store is like, it's not that big and there's so few people in it, like everybody was paying attention to them. So it's just like so awkward for them and just like awkward for everyone in the store because it's just awkward. I don't know. So I felt like I had to walk away because I was like pretty close in proximity to the situation. If you've ever been there, there's like a lower part and then there's like stairs to like the pants section, and the back of it looks like a magazine. So I was like walking up there to look at the pants to get away from like the awkwardness. I'm like looking at the pants and I turn around to walk down the stairs and Tyler looks at me. Like, we make eye contact. And like, you know how there's eye contact and then there's eye contact. It was like he was looking at me like he like had his bucket hat on. I remember exactly what he was wearing. He had a bucket hat and his like green knit sweater and a pink scarf tied around his neck. And so he just looked at me like this. And then he like did a double take. And I was like, what? And it just, he looked at me like, there was just something in his eyes. I had no idea what it was. It looked like, I don't know if he thought I looked interesting or he recognized me or something. Like, it just, there was something more than this is just another person in my store. You know what I mean? Because it was like very like deliberate, and I just felt something, you know? So I go down the stairs and I'm like, okay, like whatever, even though I'm like, my heart is beating faster. And then I like continue to like look at the clothes, but like I'm really distracted thinking about how he just looked at me, to be honest. And then I'm literally like on this side. He comes up to me, he's like, I know you. And I was like, I turn around and I go, me? And he's like, yeah, you look familiar, like I've seen you before. What? And he was like, I've taken a picture of you. And I was like, cannot compute, like, what? But he was like, he's on the phone, and he was like, hold on, I'm having two conversations at once. So then he like walks away, and he's like talking on the phone to someone named Travis. I don't know if that was like Travis Scott or like, I don't even know if they talk, like, I don't know. But I remember thinking it was like Travis Scott. And then he like announces to like his friends in the store, he's like, Travis is gonna be by around 3 or something like that. I remember being like, oh, is Travis Scott coming here at 3? Like, I don't know. But then he comes back over to me. Because I thought like maybe he would just forget about what he was saying, you know? And just like forgotten about me, but he walks back over to me. This is where it gets awkward because, like I said, it's a small store. There's like maybe a total of 15, 20 people in the store, and they are all looking at me because Tyler, the creator, has decided that I'm worth talking to. So he comes up to me and he's like, I've taken a picture of you. And I was like, no, like, I've never had a picture with you. I've never taken a picture with you or anything. He was like, but like, I recognize you, like, I know you. And I was like, oh, and then it started to make sense in my head because last year at some point, he had, I don't know if you saw this, but he posted like a model search thing for golf, and it was only up, like, I felt so lucky because my friend Maisie from high school, who like I used to talk about him to all the time, she DM'd it to me on Instagram. Otherwise I wouldn't have seen it because he only had it up for like 30 minutes and then he took it down. But it was basically a post like casting call for golf, like email pictures to at golf casting or whatever the handle was. So I was like, okay, cool, like I'll do it. And then I did it. I just sent like a few pictures. I emailed them to like the golf casting thingy. As soon as I had done that, like I go up on Instagram and the post was taken down, and I was like, whoa, like good thing I got it in quick. Good thing I saw it already. A couple months went by and then I got an email from golf, like golf casting or whatever, that was like, send pictures of yourself against a white wall, one head on, one profile, one full body. So I took that as kind of like a callback, basically. So I like did it and I sent pictures and then I never heard back. So I was like, okay, like that sucks, but whatever. And so yeah, I just brought it up. I was like, oh, well, I entered your model search a while ago. And he was like, yes, that's exactly it. That's definitely it. He was like, I go through every single one of those emails and I remember your face and I remember your profile, and we starred 10 profiles and yours was one of them. And I was like in my head, it was just like volcanoes combusting. Like I forgot my name. Like I was so dumb, but whatever. I was like, oh cool, like that's awesome. Like I just probably sounded so dumb. Like I was just so like starstruck that he was even talking to me. First of all, he's like so tall. Like I'm tall. I'm 5'9.5", and like I knew he was tall and I'd seen him on stage, but like to have, if you can imagine the biggest, because he has such a big personality and such a like deep animated voice, and he's also like actually huge. Like just this insane presence in front of me telling me that he knew me when I had been like listening to him in my teenage room for years, like hoping that one day I would ever meet him. For him to come up to me just blew my mind. Like imagine someone, whoever like you're obsessed with, whoever like your idol is, like your favorite person ever that you think about all the time, like you've been obsessed with for years, and you like think they have no idea of your existence. Imagine them coming up to you and saying, I know you. Like, it blew my mind, literally. So I was just like dumbfounded. I was just being like, wow, like, wow, that's awesome. And he like just kept saying that he had like started my profile, blah blah blah, and in the back of my head I was like, okay, well, you never like did anything about it, so but like I don't know. And I was just being like, wow, oh cool, like wow, like, well, that's awesome. And then he was like, yeah, well, this conversation is going nowhere, so I'm gonna walk away now. And I was like, okay, haha. And that is literally all that happened. And then we had an entire audience watching him interact with me, and me just being like, wow, cool, that's awesome. And you know what? I can't even be mad at myself because that was just a crazy situation. Like, I don't know, maybe I'll go into golf again. I live in LA, like, it's not unlikely. And I'll be like, hey, hire me. I don't know, if you start my profile, can I get cast? But like, also, most of his clothes are for guys. Like, it's not that they're for guys, they're unisex, but most of his clothes are worn by guys, and I think he knows that. So like, most of his models are guys. Like, there are some girls, like if you saw his last campaign, there was, I think there was one girl in it, and she kind of looked like me, but better. So like, can I really be mad? No. Like, she was like light skin, curly hair, but like, just, I don't know, she looked like cooler, I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted to share that mind-blowing moment with you. Yeah, hopefully if I see him again, which like I probably will at some point, hopefully if I see him again I like remember how to talk, because I talk a lot, so like it's really weird that whenever I actually need to talk and when it could serve me or maybe get me places, I'm just like, I forget what words are. It was still cool though, you know, like it was still cool. So yeah, that happened. Thanks for watching my story time. See you soon. Bye!